Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, everyone, to the news and updates. I am Laurel, and we're here to share with you the news from around the AltSpace VR community. And now, here's Donna.
That never gets old. Thanks, Laurel. Hello, everyone. I'm Donna McTee, and I'm literally reading from a screen across my desk. I can see because I have these new glasses. It's so impressive.
Yay!
So I'm Donna McTee, and here to help host it another in our third year, 3 years, delivering you the news from around the AltSpace VR community. Last week, we have reported that many are coming out of lockdown and returning to the world outside of AltSpace VR. Unfortunately, the Delta and the new Lambda versions are marching across the planet where people are unvaccinated. Reports are that vaccinated people will likely need a booster this fall. Please wear masks when you step out of your bubble. Remember that vaccinated people can not only get COVID, but spread it. And we want everyone to be safe. So, with the increased speed of the variants, what that means is that social VR, very likely, will be popular and in high demand this fall. So, event hosts, world builders, and general fans, get ready for a busy fall and winter coming to our beautiful community. In the interim, let's enjoy summer. It's finally summer. So we've plenty of news. Let's get this party started.
Yay! Has all the snow melted for you now, finally, Donna?
I've actually not used the heat in my house now for over 2 weeks. And
You!
I blew out
So
a
jealous.
fan. I had to buy a new fan.
Oh
So
dear,
yes,
princess
we've
problems.
joined the land of the hot.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Now, speaking of hot, so to speak, Oculus users were hot this yesterday when outages were reported that were all across the Oculus world of Oculus here, and it was likely a server issue. Okay, but it was quickly resolved. But the reports provided us an opportunity to see where these outage reports were coming in North America, and thus where the heaviest use was at that time. Now, the East and West Coast featured the highest number of reports. That's typical. We expected that. Okay. But so did Houston and Dallas and Texas and Atlanta, Georgia, and then throughout Chicago and the Great Lakes area. Major cities in Canada also had reports, but what interested us the most were the hazy yellow spots near the big cities in the Midwest, especially in Montana, Idaho, the Dakotas, Oklahoma, and Iowa. This is such, we don't get this kind of information very often, but this is beautiful proof that VR is reaching out across North America in places in a very democratic way that might be surprising to most of us. So, love that little find.
Now, speaking of Oculus, over the past 2 years, we've had to say goodbye to some of our favorite headsets, and now the Rift and the Rift S are joining the discarded. With very little fanfare this past week, the Oculus Rift S simply disappeared from the Oculus store. When other stores run out, that's it. It is not being made any longer. We announced this in September last year, so it's not a surprise. But end of life support was to last until 2023 when Facebook would initiate their requirement for a single Facebook login for all Oculus devices. But it seems that Facebook might be moving that date up as well. We're keeping an eye out on this as well as other news impacting headsets, and we'll report them here and in news and in our news and updates Discord.
Now, we have a little bit of news that's coming from our live stream. Mike Porter says that he is hashtagging warmth for Donna. Hashtag warmth for Donna. There you go.
Oh my gosh. I still love the deliver one. I'm warm for Donna. Oh, Mike, you're awesome.
There you
Um,
go. Warmth
and
for
I checked,
Donna.
I
Hashtag.
checked, I checked the Oculus store. Both Rift and Rift S are saying that they've actually that they're not available any longer. That's quite something.
Yep. It's bye bye Rift. Bye bye. No, it's great joy for that. All right, now more joy, sadness, and joy mixed together. We have your ups and downs. That's what you can expect right here at the news and updates. July 16th is the announced date of a major change for AltSpace VR to support 2020.3 for Unity. This week's Tuesday update brought us to version 4.2.27, and it was announced yesterday that all AltSpace VR clients, Mac, Windows, and all of that, must be on that version immediately as AltSpace VR begins the step-by-step process towards embracing a newer, faster, and more performant version of Unity.
There was just a note, there was a few of us, and I didn't notice a lot in AltSpace Discord, but there was a few of us that went to use AltSpace in Quest 2, and it loaded and said you can't use this version because you need an update, but the update wasn't available, so you uninstalled and then you couldn't download. So literally couldn't use AltSpace on the Quest 2. Tried it using the link cable and that worked. I could get into AltSpace that way, but I double checked today and it's back. So I was able to download it again and successfully install it on my Quest 2. So that only happened to a few people, but if it happened to you, just know that that's working again.
Yay.
Okay, so now upgrading to the 4.2.27 applies to all users. World builders are waiting the notification to update to Unity 2020. It's up to you if you wish to update or not. Another update is coming. Just know that if you do, you will have to do it again. So why bother? And so we're saying that between now and July 16th, which is next Friday, it probably is worth waiting,
Yeah,
right? That's what we're saying.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just got to do it again. Included
Now,
a client hot fix. Oops.
Yeah, just start
Am I
over
back?
that sentence. Yeah, you're back.
Okay. The latest update to AltSpace VR included a client hotfix to resolve a few key issues, including the new role of host, which we'll talk about more in the event section, and to better support MREs, along with other small updates and fixes.
Remember, if you encounter a bug, please go to AltSpace VR settings, support panel, and click the upload logs button. A form will appear that invites you to write down what went wrong. Rate it as low, rate the severity low to high, and be fair. Not everything is high, you guys, and submit your logs. Remember, submitting reports with the logs helps the developers know what's wrong and where to look. Your help and input is needed to improve AltSpace VR, so please report bugs when you find them.
As mentioned last week, we are still celebrating the addition of live captioning and instant translation to the AltSpace VR 101 events. Yes! We know so many of you take them for granted, but they're very important, the AltSpace VR 101 for granted, but they're very important not only to newcomers, but to the AltSpace VR community, as they are a really important part of the Community Helper Program. The AltSpace VR 101 team will be leading some training programs coming up for those interested in supporting the program and becoming community helpers. This opens up such possibilities for helping those who do not English translation service being in.
Thursday is the Spanish language version hosted by Gabriella and Karen. I'm not that Karen here today in the audience. Yay! The two have been working with the AltSpace VR 101 team to translate the script into Spanish and figure out how to name things that don't translate well. We've been dreaming of an AltSpace 101 for every language. Hindi is number one on my list. So this is a wonderful start. So check it out, hopefully this week or next, and spread the word.
It's, it was really interesting, working with them to do the translation. And I realized that one of the problems we're going to have with the captioning and translation tool is that the words don't translate. we have jargon that we use here all the time, and building worlds means something different, so to us than it does to people in the real world. So that's going to be really interesting, the translation. That's why it's so important that we have these in languages, not just relying on the translation. So if you speak a non-English language, please get involved. All right, a discussion on privacy in the AltSpace VR Discord reminded us that you may delete your tracking data at any time per international law by going to the altvr.com website, logging in, going to your profile, and click Manage My Data. One issue of concern is the ability of MREs, the Microsoft Reality Extensions, that clever programming we enjoy to ring a door chime, announce somebody's entrance into a world or event tracking, of attendees, the hats, the capes, the legs, etc. They track user data that is not under control of AltSpace, but the user who made and the owner of the MRE. While the concept of adding incognito to MREs as a standard is being discussed, be aware that the use of MREs may expose you and the MRE owner to privacy challenges in the future. Know the source of the MRE before you use it. Consider talking to the developer to ensure your privacy of that and your visitors to events and worlds before you use it. Make sure that that's protected, but expect changes in the future as they're exploring that, and be safe for now.
As usual, we bring as usual, we bring you the news from around the AltSpace VR community every week, and in between, join us on our News and Updates Discord for updates and related news you can use to ensure you keep updated on what's going on within our AltSpace VR metaverse.
Yay! Now on to world building. Now, according to announcements, hints, rumors, and your guess as good as mine, we are 6 days away from a major update to AltSpace VR. July 16th, AltSpace VR will be shifting fully into the SPI version of Unity, as we've discussed before, and the URP that adds faster and lighter rendering, less chance for motion sickness. The upgrade will also include switching to Unity's Universal Render Pipeline, the URP, for faster frame rates, shader, graph support, new post-processing effects, and best of all, improved speed and performance. It should also mean faster updates to Unity, as we aren't jumping every 12 months or so to upgrade our templates and kits. Cannot wait.
Reports are coming in of audio on videos and audio files added to worlds blaring at full volume with no way to turn them down. Ensure you have set the audio to be low by editing it before adding or using the controls. No one needs loud music or sounds in any world, and reconsider using any music or sounds that aren't truly a part of the experience. Not every world needs music. Better yet, consider using ambient sounds heard only when close to the object generating the sound, and quiet as you move away for a more real experience. When we know better answers to the audio issues, we'll report them. Can I add a personal note about sound?
Mm-hmm.
I um, it's one of the things, it's not every person as they get older, but a lot of people as they get older can't have trouble distinguishing voices when there's music playing. And I watched my mother do this for years, say, I don't want to go there because I can't hear when I'm in that space. And my mother's living long enough for me to say, oh my gosh, I now know what you mean, because I now avoid places because I can't hear people's voices. So keep that in mind when you're doing worlds that just something to keep in mind. Sorry. Thanks,
Agreed.
Rob.
Agree. No, it's beautiful. And it is, I think that part of having an immersive experience, that it be immersive, not drowning. And
Yeah.
if the music and the sound or whatever doesn't work, I think it's viable to say, don't use it. Just be sensitive to people's hearing.
Mm.
But this is a bug also. So let's just be really
Yeah.
clear.
Oh, yeah.
This is a bug.
Yeah.
And if you experience it, get out of that world right away and then make sure you report it of which world, name which world it is, because it's just you want to keep your hearing, baby. You just want to keep your hearing as long as you can. All right. Now, Jimmy has been adding videos and tutorials to the Unity Uploader and World channels on Discord. Yay! Look for them in the pins up at the top for each channel. Okay, they're rough, they're done pretty quickly, but it's helpful for those that are new to world building and eager to learn more about the upcoming changes and how it'll change your workflow. So check those pins.
For those using the Sketchfab plugin with Unity, be aware that some are reporting issues in transferring to AltSpace VR. Download the OBJ or FBX object asset and bring it in manually. Using the Sketchpad plugin, using the Sketchpad
The word.
plugin, yeah, really. Webster's, where are you? May introduce scripts which AltSpace VR rejects. It also has a history of causing issues with flipped normals, scaling, high poly counts, and other problems.
Oh, we. There are reports of world builders uploading kits and the items suddenly become invisible. Some reports say that this is either an issue, some kind of a bug, or it's a poorly implemented render queue on the shaders, or maybe the problems with the uploader. This is an ongoing issue they're trying to resolve, but there's enough reports coming in. And if you have a problem, if you come in, you've just uploaded a kit or a template, and you come in to visit the world and you cannot see it, please send in a ticket to let them know what's going on with your logs, and then make sure that you just kind of delete it and try again and see if that works. Reset the world, re-enter, do something, but don't just keep uploading, because that can be really messy. Just kind of delete and fix. But that's another ongoing issue they're looking at.
Now, we've been asked by staff in the community to remind you to keep the world building discussions in the world building channels on topic. And it applies actually to everything. Keep them on topic to what the channel was intended, to help those that are following discussions. There are pinned frequently asked questions and other support information in those channels, so check those first. Very often, the answer to your question can be found by doing a quick search.
Check out the channels under world building in the AltSpace VR Discord.
Well, try,
Am I back?
we heard the first sentence.
Okay, all right. There is the World Showcase to show off your new world. Discussions on the Unity Uploader for Windows, separate one for Mac. There are tutorials, emeries, shaders, and layers, all kinds of huge topics. Now, we have another note from Mike Porter on the live stream. New hashtag, ASVR Flubbins.
Oh my goodness
hashtag ASVR Flubbins. We now have a new hashtag,
Oh
ASVR
my goodness
Flubbins.
me. Oh,
Mike,
oh,
you are just unincorrigible,
yeah,
incorrigible. One of those words.
incorrigible.
Hashtag can't pronounce the word. Okay.
Oh, and even Laurel tries to do this phonetically for me very
Yeah.
often, and even that doesn't work. So we love, love, love highlighting your worlds, and we have some fun ones to bring to your attention. Chateau Noir by Optic Sea. Oh, is it Optic? Sorry. Okay, sorry about that.
Up to sea. I don't know.
Oh, okay, this one was built for the community by the community. Chateau Noir's creation was a team effort. This world was made by a diverse and dedicated group of people who dedicated their time, template, kits, and art so that all who want a copy can have a copy, and all are welcome to enjoy the space as it is enjoy the space as it is, or you can customize it to their liking. Chateau Noir was originally designed to be used as a private home space. That's very cool. I love that. A community project for worlds. That's fabulous. Woot.
Hmm. Yeah, you may not all know this, but many of the worlds are community projects. They are ones that were built either part of a big community project, a community challenge, or they're just a group of people. And I love that. And I love that they're celebrating that. That's wonderful. Ping HP3's Island Mansion by JP is an experimental build where you can play chess, drink with friends. I thought it was going to say drink friends, soak in a hot tub, or ride the Ferris wheel, or whatever you want to do. Cyberpunk is another great world that is a VR Hispanverso by a VR Max technology solution is a futuristic world. You can explore the subway, which you might never do in real life will add to find a teleporter to another VR Max world or exit the subway and explore the city above. With the flooding of the subways in New York, uh, anything is, you got to be careful those subways now lately. There are also teleporters around to more of their world. So check out the cyberpunk world.
We love sharing all of your worlds on this show. If you have built a world or know one worth sharing here on News and Updates, please let us know in our Discord in the Check for the Channel. Share your world in News Channel. We have some fascinating worlds coming to share with you next week.
Now, we have many, many world building events and activities every week in AltSpace. One of the AltSpace VR developers, Jimmy, hosts his Building the Metaverse events on Tuesdays. You can explore world building tips and techniques with Unity, SDK, and MREs, and meet up with others that are passionate about world building.
If you missed these events, they are not the only places to improve your world building skills. Look for the many workshops, classes, and events on world building on the events calendar. There are more opportunities than ever to learn about how to build worlds in AltSpace VR and be inspired by world builders. Check out the events calendar for workshops and classes, for meetups for world builders, and the regular world tours that are held by with Daisy Shaw and the World Tours team that meets every Wednesday to tour amazing worlds. Now, each month they challenge the world builders to build on a theme, and this month is outer space. Get building some of those some out of this world worlds. Get building some out of this world worlds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hashtag out of this world. All right. Meet you, Mike. Okay. It is time for some quick Discord news tips. Discord tips. We love shortcuts. Anything that makes our life easier. Isn't technology supposed to make our life easier? Don't even talk to me about that. Discord hotkeys are called keybinds. They allow you to set keyboard shortcuts to turn on and off functions quickly. To view the ones that exist, type control / in the post box and hit enter. And trust me, it's an impressive list. We have it up on the screen there.
Some of our favorites are E, to edit the last message you posted, R, to reply to the highlighted message, and the back button on the mouse or Control Alt up or down to move between servers. Alt and up or down moves between channels. These are great shortcuts, you guys.
Love them. All right, can you hear me? Feel like I'm
Yep.
a Verizon commercial. Am I back? All right. To dive deeper and customize your own, go to the user settings keybinds. To mute your microphone during a voice chat, the combination is Control-Shift-M to toggle mute on and off. Okay, that's really hard to remember if you're about to sneeze or cough or whatever, or somebody walks into the room to go Control-Shift-M. So I changed mine to F7 through the record keystrokes function to just set the keybind. This ability to customize the keyboard shortcuts to your needs is just one of the many power features that we just love about Discord.
So we'll have more Discord tips for you as we move deeper into the summer of 2021. And if you have some Discord tips to share with our community, let us know after the show or in our news and updates Discord, and we may share them here on the show.
All right, now our favorite subject, Alt Space VR events. Recent changes to the altvr.com web pages for events includes the ability to disable portals in an event at the very bottom of the events form under advanced options. We mentioned it last week, but it bears repeating. If the event is duplicated, the setting should persist, but it requires setting for each newly created event. Now, many of us have asked that portals be disabled by default, requiring only those few events that allow portals to enable it. So let's hope that that changes.
Another change is the removal of the presenter role in contextual roles. So if you work with events, you design events on the website, host was added almost 2 years ago with a little documentation, explanation, or can I say understanding of it, causing confusion between host and presenter roles in MREs as well as event roles. So recently, thankfully, presenter was removed, leaving only host. Okay, so now you have host, megaphone only, moderator, musical performer, I'm going to say pilot, and
Mhm.
terraformer. Doodler was also removed a few months ago. It still persists in contextual roles for worlds, which I have no idea why they left it there, but it's still there. But when you go to events, Doodler has been removed. And that was the ability for a person to be assigned a pen to draw in the air or whatever in a world or event. And how awesome would it be to have that feature back? So, event developers have the choice of allowing a speaker to be assigned megaphone only and to have no access to host tools or MREs, or add them as a host to ensure access to these tools.
It's kind of crazy. Educators in VR host a variety of training events for event hosts, users in AltSpace VR. They are hosted regularly to support the events and users throughout all of AltSpace. The Moderation 101 event is very popular, and we love it because it's a sign of how much people want to help events be successful here. Honestly, that is amazing. If you have done the training, look in the AltSpace VR Discord under the events section for moderators needed. Now, please don't post something saying, I'm available, because that's not what it's for. Look for posts from event hosts that are looking for moderation help and consider volunteering to help support those requests and the amazing events and talented people that give so much of their time to entertain and educate all of us here.
Now on to events. Summer is on, and many are taking advantage of their local areas, opening up and expanding access to public places in the physical world. So there are literally fewer and fewer events on the calendar, and expect lower attendance at many events. This isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that we're interacting with our physical world. This is normal, okay? So just expect the numbers to be lower through August. It's part of a normal cycle. And it's good to have at least one thing come back to normal around here. So don't stress if there's if there's less people, right? It's hard to take. It's hard to when you've been full and need multiple rooms, et cetera, et cetera. This is all a good thing.
And it's normal. And normal is weird now. So just be
It's
patient.
true.
Before the news today, there was Mandarin only language meetup, one of the many language groups that meet here in Allspace VR. Look for meetups in Spanish, French, Italian, German, and a variety of languages, including English. If you don't find an event in your language, consider starting one. It's pretty easy. With the live captioning and instant translation feature, it's only available in just a few events as it's still in development. Let's celebrate non-English events as much as we can. So get a group together talking in your language. Love it.
The Artistic International Collaborations United AICU group is meeting tomorrow to explore the musical talent here in Altspace VR. Join and discuss the amazing work of the community artists, vocalists, composers, instrumentalists, lyricists, digital artists, world builders, and more to share and network with like minded talents.
Shushu is hosting the Road to Global Music events at the Love Hotel a couple hours after the news today. This is a chance to party with DJs and flying
It's a chance to party with who, Laurel?
with um, DJs and flying cam drones in this live video art event where you are the superstar. It is part of the Global Music Festival, an international celebration in VR and real life with DJs and live and recorded videos from around the world with the latest and hottest musicians and DJs.
Black Sand Startup is also tomorrow presenting a workshop on choosing the right business to start and how to pay attention to the marketplace for your industry. It is followed by a networking event.
Monday, the Educators in VR researchers team features Leonard Reimers. He's presenting on using eye tracking for detecting attention in VR, where people are looking, what they're paying attention to, as part of the software development of VR training, education, medical, psychological, and other projects. Reimers is from Sirius VR, a company specializing in VR training, and is an expert in VR eye tracking and training. Should be fascinating.
James Origo of the Lad in a Battle is a featured guest Tuesday for the Ed VR workshop. The Lad in a Battle is a VR and multimedia program designed for children to provide life changing and empowering experiences for pediatric oncology patients battling life threatening illnesses and diseases. We're honored to share with you his inspired work project and learn more about how he is using VR for children in hospitals and care facilities.
So cool. Tuesday, meet comic artist Des Taylor of Scarlet Couture and other famous comic book illustrations from this London-based pop artist and comic book illustrator whose work has been featured in DC Entertainment, Doctor Who,
Okay,
Archie.
Laurel,
Yeah,
just
yes. Should I start over?
okay, start. Yeah, maybe do this one over again. Yeah, and your
I
voice
hate
is
my
back.
internet.
It was just
I hate
no.
my
This
internet.
what? No. Uh, this was alt space bug. Nothing to do with your internet. This was an
Oh,
alt space voice bug. So just start
finally,
over.
it's not one.
Yeah,
It's not
it wasn't you.
me. It's not me.
So
Okay.
you guys, if you're at an event, you're with people, and what happened to Laurel happens, that's just get people to stop talking for 3 or 4 seconds. Their voice kicks back. They don't need to re-enter. They just need to stop talking just for a few seconds, and then life goes back to normal.
Dawn, I think you're one of the few people who can get me to stop talking. So
Ooh, there's got to be a medal for that somewhere.
no kidding. Let's get an award. All right.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Meet comic artist Des Taylor of Scarlet Couture and other famous comic book illustrations from this London-based pop art and comic book illustrator whose work has been featured in DC Entertainment, Doctor Who, Archie comics,
Comics?
excuse me, comics, Star Trek's 50th anniversary edition, and so much more. What a treasure to have this famous
Wow.
comic book artist coming in here and talking. I love it.
The AltSpace VR community meetup happens on Wednesday, so check it out this Wednesday. It's a great opportunity to meet others in the community and find out what is going on. Also, if you haven't seen the AltSpace VR live captioning and instant translation feature, check it out there as it is usually on. They're also looking for input and feedback on upcoming changes to AltSpace VR with the upgrade to Unity 2020.3 and other changes coming July 16th. Now, Jano performs Wednesday, rocking out Old Space VR with Spanish language originals to pop and rock covers. It's a great way to spend a summer evening or morning, depending where you are, by dancing and rocking out to this live concert. And keep in mind, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So no worries if it's morning for you.
There's always time for a party here in Alt Space. Thursday, Simulation Nation interviews Fidget Dion, curator at Afterlife. This is a collaborative project with the Arthur C. Clarke Center for the Human Imagination, Annenberg School at USC, and the Origami Fair. This is a community of futurists based in the metaverse, and she'll discuss Afterville and her position and what it means to be a curator in the metaverse.
Now, Thursday, our favorite health systems chat asks, is social VR a game? Join Chuck for a discussion on the rules, scoring strategies, and ideas behind whether or not social VR is a game. Some are starting to think about AltSpace VR as a social VR game, while others declare it a community. Now, what's your opinion? Join that conversation on Thursday.
Friday, the Educators in VR XR Medical and Healthcare team presents Ignacia Capella, co-founder of Brumix, that provides guided immersive mindfulness therapies to combat pandemic fatigue and other mental disorders specifically for healthcare professionals. Honestly, I don't know how healthcare professionals have continued after this past year. And with the Delta variant, it's like they're right back in, like working 24-hour shifts. This is insanity. So, this is an amazing tool that's been used internationally. And their ongoing research last year found innovative ways to help healthcare workers take care of their emotional health with VR immersive experiences. And he's going to share their research and the lessons learned. So, check that out on Friday.
Friday, the Starfleet Science Department with Wookie Picard hosts a special educational discussion on exoplanets that might be better than Earth. They will discuss the exoplanets, that could potentially be habitable for humans and their potential for us, and if they really do exist. The Starfleet Science Group offers a variety of events focused on space science and the impact of Star Trek science on the real world. So that's something for you to check out.
I'm getting
Okay, we're
Yeha
waiting, Laurel. Okay, there you go.
Hoha. Okay. All right. Next Saturday before the news, join the Binya Yeha Hoha tribes live virtual powwow with Chief Geronimo San Carlos, known as Chief Eagle Feather. He will play his Native American flute, which I just love, and feature live drum songs during this live virtual powwow celebration. If you have not done this, you are so missing out on an amazing treat here in Altspace.
The Summer Olympics are in Japan, and it all begins on July 23rd. They were postponed last year to this summer, and it was announced this past week that there will now be no spectators in the audience. While heartbreaking to so many, especially the competitors, expect to see events hosted by individuals and AltSpace VR during the 2-week run of the Olympics. There will likely be parties, celebrations, live streams, and watch parties throughout. We'll do our best to report on them throughout that competition.
The Winter Olympics are in Beijing, China, and start February 4th, only 7 months away rather than normal 2 years. Currently, the news is that the Winter Olympics will go on, but there's much concern that these may be postponed to the following year as well due to the pandemic, as well as a huge call to boycott. Yesterday, the European Parliament overwhelmingly passed a resolution calling on diplomatic officials to boycott the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics due to human rights abuses by the Chinese government. Now, we're going to be watching these, and as soon as we know what's going to happen, expect to have those events happening here in Altspace as well come in February. But we'll let you know what happens when we know it.
Burning Man is canceled in the real physical world again this year, but will thrive here at Altspace VR and across the metaverse. Applications for virtual and physical artwork converted to digital continue to be accepted, as well as donations to support the various virtual art worlds and pieces. The virtual bird of Burning Man begins August 22nd and goes through September the 7th. Tickets are on sale for the paid events now with early bird prices good through July 15th. That's another 5 days, guys. Altspace VR is one of the major hosts of the virtual Burning Man Worlds at Black Rock City VR, right? BRC VR. There will be special open houses, tours, and more leading up to the event. If you thought last year was amazing, all we can say is you ain't seen nothing yet.
No kidding. Last year was stunning. All right. Check out the nightclubs, the dances, the computer classes, open mics, workshops, talent nights, meditation, thought provoking discussions, and all the fun going on here in Altspace VR throughout the week. You do not want to miss a moment.
Check out the channels and calendar to find the events that tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit. We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever-growing community, and we are so glad you're here to share it with us. But make sure scroll through events. You never know what you're going to find by going through them.
And that's a good thing and a bad thing. I love it. There's such creativity out there. All right, it is time for our discussion. Now, Chuck from Health Systems Chat's topic this week, coming up this week, is to discuss whether or not Altspace VR is a social game or not. What do you think? For years, we've told ourselves and others that Altspace VR is an adult social events community and platform, proudly stating this is not a game. But is it? Okay. So as Donna turns on the Q&A, it's your turn to let us know. Is it a social game? If it is, how does it work? Altspace VR has a community helper program, which which kind of treats it like a game as people go through the list. They check off each step in the process to attain their green bordered badge with a heart inside. But after that, then what? Are the events and the making of events part of the game? What about world building? Where's the game and gamification in Altspace VR? We would love to hear from you. Well, Donna, we already got some people lined up.
Okay, so you're ready to talk to us. This is awesome. The raise hand button for all of you is up, and we want to hear from you. So, Ancient, you are first up.
Well, I think it's less of a social game, but more of a social experiment in some aspects. It explores a bit of how people interact with each other, especially when they come from vastly different parts of this world, and brought in here together by electronic means. So these are we've already seen some aspects are definitely different on how we interact rather than in the physical world, but it's still something that might need to be explored.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that, Ancient. Okay, next up is Lance. Go for it.
Well, okay, so I've built, I had an event where it was the fly hide and seek, and to me that was obviously a little game. But if I had to actually say if alt space is a game or just or social game, I'd say it's just to me it's just a social app that you can create games within if you wanted to. But no matter what, to me it's a community for everyone to hang out. So, but game wise, no.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't see that I think there's some truth there. That's beautifully said, Lance, because do I get points because I hang out and talk to people or I host events? I don't see. I'm looking for the game in this. Excellent.
Okay, thanks, Lance. Karen, not that Karen. Go for it.
Well, this is really timely because last night I happened to be in VR chat with Ariel, and it was just very kind of weird because we ended up in a group. Somebody else was there from here. He was a teenager. I know him, but anyway, we ended up in a group. I probably was hanging out last night with a bunch of teenagers, which was bizarre. But at any rate, um, it really, I was really thinking about the whole experience there, which was not age appropriate for me, and here. So, I mean, you look at the difference between a platform like VR Chat, Rec Room, and Altspace, and it's just a vast ocean of differences. I mean, here, this really is a community here. Yes, we play games and we have fun and we world hop, but it's a community first and foremost. You go to a place like VR chat. I mean, I could write a whole paper on this. I was just thinking about it all day, how different it is. I mean, you dress up, you take on all these avatars. Nobody really has a real world presence over there. It's weird. So I see that as it is a social VR platform, but I see it more as a gaming platform with a really young audience. And I see Altspace as um, a social VR platform, a community with a more mature audience.
Now, can I ask a question, Karen?
Sure.
You said that um, it didn't have a real world component to what you experienced. What does that mean?
Well, it's just that it's weird over there. And I mean, I've been in there several times. It wasn't my first time, but it's a bunch of little kids, starters. I mean, I don't know how young they are over there, eight and up. And there's I think a lot of teenagers in there. But I met somebody the other day who said, "Oh, I haven't seen anybody in here over 30." You know, and so the community is different over there. And I think and Lance probably knows better than I am because he's young, but he fits in all these different platforms really well. But so I think the audience over there is more on that platform is more of they come from a gaming background and they're young, right?
Mhm.
Whereas and so they're in there to kind of mess around and play games and stuff. Um, and not really reveal their identity. Whereas in here, we're a community, and as you get to know people in here, people reveal their identity to one another. Does that make
Ah,
sense?
yeah, it does. That's beautifully said. Thank you.
Stands with trees. Go for it. Oh, hang on. First of all, I have to click this. Okay, now you can go for it.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Just quickly, short and sweet. I'm going to have to basically agree with everything that's been said so far. Altspace to me is not a game at all, and it always I don't want to say frustrates me, but when I hear people call it a game, I'm like, no, you're so wrong. And it's a community, it's a social. I was gonna say kind of like social media, but I mean it's all social. It's all community, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy most about Altspace. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely, Stans. Thank you for that. Shushu, you get to be next on the queue, so you have the mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Shushu, go for it.
Thank you very much. So this is a wonderful question. It's so deep. It's not something we can discuss in 5 minutes, but I love the theme. And I have to agree with Karen, not that Karen, and also with Stan with trees. Um, it's beautifully said. Yeah, this the potential of Allspace is in its community, and you get to know people with great ambitions. Uh, uh, just a new opportunity to realize their dreams. So of course it's for most of the people, and I agree with Stands with Trees. It's not a game. It's something that we like invest all our passion in it. However, there is something of a game in it because if I fall down from 100 meter, nothing happens to me. So I can just jump and jump and jump, and in this way, it's a game. But I just would end with Shakespeare's world. Like all the world is a game, and the world, I mean VR world, and all of us are just actors.
That's
Love
interesting,
it.
Shushu. And I love the thought about, yes, we can fall and not get hurt. My favorite personally is we can eat and get without calories. Like seriously, how many places can you eat without calories, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yay!
thank you so much, Shushu. Fizzle, you're next. Sorry, there you go. You have the mic.
Okay.
And it's
Hi.
if it's Faisal, I apologize if I
No, it's
pronounced it
Fizzle.
wrong.
The
Fizzle,
room
okay, good.
mispronounces me. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that the usage of the word game for VR has a lot to do with people who don't have much familiarity with VR or are very, very new, because it comes from a gaming engine and it looks like video games, but it's not video games. It's right. Like to me, games require rules, goals, right? And platforms are places where things can occur, like a web browser. On a web browser, people make communities, people play games, people read news. Some people come in to take classes. They're not interested in meeting any people. So like, I feel like in a place like Altspace, the community is very apparent, like Karen was saying, and it's something that I appreciate is there's like a shortened span between meeting somebody and having like meaningful conversation. Right? And I think a big part of it is that there is because it's so locked down and so event focused, there's an older audience here. And when you go over to like VR chat or Neos VR, they're really unlocked. Like people are running MREs in public spaces like this, everybody has their private ones, and I could take it out of my bag and hand it to you and you can have it as an item. And so it's like this, you can also pirate, right? So there's all these different avatars that are, they won't last long. So I think that's where you get a lot of that younger crowd. But again, I would argue that's an equivalent platform, and also that there's probably some strong community there as well. It's just a teenager community, which is hard to interact with as a 40-something, like me. You go over there and it's mayhem. But in my research, I find videos of people who knew each other for years, or flying across oceans to see each other. These people got married, but a lot of them are in private rooms, I think, because of the just because of that chaos. But then the chaos is like, a lot of beautiful creativity and things. Anyway, I'm here for a reason, not there, but I really kind of appreciate that space as well. Anyway, that's my answer.
Okay, that's really cool. I have to say, in VR chat, I love the private spaces. I've been in lots of private experiences, and they're awesome. I cannot have a conversation with a squirrel. I cannot do it. It's just a little beyond me, but there's many that enjoy it. Spider, it's your turn.
I'm saying for me that Altspace has become kind of therapy for me because I get to speak with people that has life experiences and that has knowledge in things that I don't, and have helped me through a situation or to learn a situation. So even with world building and the learning and the classes, that it just takes me away from what's happening in the outside of here. So I know that I can climb into Altspace, whether it be a social experiment or whatever it is people want to call it, a game. It's one of my favorites that I have found so far because I've met people I would never meet in my life. So honestly, with the things that are going on in my life that is in the real world, I I have I have honestly found therapy inside here. So I think for me, it's therapy.
Wow, that's awesome. And what a great community that offers so many different things to so many different people, right, Spider? That's awesome. Karen 666, you have the mic.
Yeah, the way I look at it, if alt space is a game, then real life is a game too, but not such a good one. I mean, we've got people here that have met each other from parts of the world that get on. You know, we've never we would never have met each other in real life. We have games in alt space, obviously, as you have games in real life, but alt game is a community of people that have you know, we can form groups, we can worry about what our hair looks like, what our clothes look like. You know, you don't have to worry bed. You can just meet people, you can have fun, you can interact with people, and you can play games too. But alt space itself is definitely not a game. It's just to me it's an extension of real life, and
Well, so agree with you, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'll just, if anybody else, we have time for a couple more. So if you guys want to raise your hands, I get the opportunity to have this conversation for sure 4 times a week because I do Alt Space 101. And it's one of the things that I talk about in the room with 101 every time that it is that it's the most common reaction. I like to ask people who are new to alt space what their initial reactions are. And I get 2 really common responses. And it's often from younger people, but they say they love this game. And they literally refer to it as a game when they haven't been here very long. And people love the interaction, which ironically, by their second answer, they are saying they love community. And that is, and that sort of defines alt space is the fact that it distinguishes us, that we have that, just from my humble opinion, but that we have that community, right? And I think that as time goes on, right now, social VR is not actually a category in Microsoft Store or Oculus or Steam. Social VR is just this new concept. Down the road, I don't expect that to be so. Like, I think that's going to change. Lots of people love playing games, and it's great to go to places like Rec Room to do those activities, right? We get the more community activities here. So I'm with all of you that have very definitely stated that we play games and activities here, but our identity is with community, right? I love that. What about you,
Beautifully
Laurel?
said. No, I agree completely. You said what she said. What she said, without a doubt, what she said. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your.
And Laurel, do you want to
Opinions.
just say again what you're thankful for?
Okay, I am just so thankful to everyone for your amazing input and the bravery to step up to the mic with us with your opinion every week. So thank you, everyone. That is all for this week's news and updates. We do this for you for free. We are not AltSpace VR employees. Our team works hard every week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on right here in AltSpace VR.
When news that you need to know happens, we share it in our news and updates Discord so you can get the news through the clutter of information out there. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
Thank you for being here every week to share the latest updates from around the AltSpace VR community. We live stream the news. Porter and the rest that are out there waiting for us every
That's
week on the
right.
live stream to YouTube.
Yes.
And yes,
I'm waving. I have no
Yes.
hands, but I'm waving.
she's waving. Hey, everybody, hey, Mike, there you go. All right. Yeah, and everyone else is sitting in the live stream or catching this filmed later on. You can catch up with past events to learn more about AltSpace VR events, the projects and news and community activities, and all the history of AltSpace VR.
This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer members who help us gather news as reporters, moderate, help us put this show together every week. If you would like to join the news and updates team, please let us know. After the show, we need every ability and talent, and we'll help train in event hosting and management and moderation. This is your show as much as ours, and we'd love for you to be a part of it.
Now, most of us are going to hang around after the news to answer your question and talk to you about what you're doing in AltSpace. I have to leave immediately. I've got a little emergency going on back here. Not stressful, just appliances falling apart and flooding. So stick around. We'd love to chat with you as I duck out. The drama never ends. The drama never ends.
There's never a dull moment in Laurel land, that is for sure.
No.
So thank you to all our news, updates, volunteers, and moderators that help make this event such a success. We truly are grateful. Thank you. So in these uncertain times, please, please be safe, everyone, wherever you are in the world, and see you next week. Same time, same place.
Don't forget warm for Donna and ASVR Flubbins. Hashtag.
The Flubbins. I love that.
The Flubbins. That's brilliant. Thanks, Donna.
Oh, thank you, Laurel.